Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we will explore order widget available in Job Cockpit dashboard. We will learn where orders come from, understand the different order states, and see how orders move through their life cycle and learn how to monitor them from the dashboard. So, let's begin with a question. What is an order? An order is an execution instance of a workflow. Every time a workflow is started, either manually from the daily plan or by a file order source, a new order is created. Each order progresses through different states until a workflow either completed successfully or failed. The order widget on the dashboard provides a real-time overview of these states, allowing operators to monitor workflow execution at a glance. Moving forward, but where do these orders come from? Orders can originate from several sources. Orders can be created automatically by the daily plan on based on released schedules. User can manually create orders from the workflow view. Order can also be created automatically by file order source when a new file arrives in the monitor directories. Regardless of how an order is created, it appears in the order widget and follows the same lifecycle. Now let's switch to Job Cockpit and see how these orders are created and monitored. For that, let's log in into Job Cockpit. I'm using root account with root password. After logging in, the dashboard view opens. At the top of the dashboard, we can see Order widget. This widget displays the number of orders currently in each state. Order widget is updated automatically whenever an order changes its state. Each number represents the count of order accessible to the current user. Clicking the number opens the order overview filtered for the selected state. To understand the different order state, we will use an existing workflow named Sample Overview. Let's start with pending order state. First, have a look at pending counter in the order widgets. As you can see, it is currently 0. Now let's navigate to Configuration tab. From the folder tree on the left, expand the user folder. Next, expand context folder. And finally, select the sample order overview workflow. The sample order overview workflow opens in Workflow Editor. Let's take a closer look at this workflow. As you can see, the workflow is made up of several instructions and job that defines the execution logic. Let's create an order and observe the state changes in the order widget. First, click the sample order view workflow link. This opens the workflow in workflow view. In the upper right corner, click plus order add order button. The Add Order dialog opens. In the Start Time section, select No Start Time. Leave the remaining settings unchanged and then click Submit. The order is now created. Because no start time was specified, the order is created in the pending state. Pending order exists in the system, but it is not yet scheduled for execution. At this stage, the workflow has not started. None of the jobs are running and no workflow instructions have been processed. The order simply waits until a start time is assigned. While it is pending, it can also be suspended or cancelled or can be run. Now navigate back to the dashboard. In Order widget, notice that pending counter has increased by 1. Click the pending counter, open the order overview, where you can view all the orders that are currently in the pending state. Select the order, then click the three-dot action menu. From here, you can perform a number of operations on the order. You can cancel the order if it is no longer required. You can suspend the order, preventing it from executing until it is resumed. You can choose Let Run to start the order immediately. You can also select Modify Start Time to assign or change the order's scheduled start time. Additional actions are available such as Modify Parameterization, Modify Priority, and Clone Order, allowing you to adjust the order before execution. In this video, we will focus only on the operations that are relevant to understanding the different order states. If you'd like to learn more about the other options available in the dialog, you can watch our dedicated add order context video, which is also available on our YouTube channel. Now, let's look at the schedule order state. A schedule order has a defined start time and is waiting for that time to arrive before execution begins. The workflow has not started yet and no jobs are running. Once the scheduled start time is reached, the controller automatically start processing the workflow. Scheduled orders can also be suspended or cancelled before execution begins. To create the schedule order, let's assign a start time to the pending order that we just created. From the order panel, click Pending Counter. This opens the order overview, displaying all pending orders. Selecting the pending orders, click three-dot action menu for the selected orders and choose Modify Start Time. Modify Start Time dialog opens. In the Start Time section, specify future start time. You can either choose specific date or relative to current time. For this demonstration, I'll use specific date option. Select the future date and time, then click Submit. The order has now moved from pending state to the scheduled state. Let's navigate back to the dashboard. In the order widget, notice that schedule counter has increased while the pending counter has decreased to 0. A schedule order has defined start time and is waiting for that time to arrive before execution begins. At this stage, workflow has not started yet. None of the jobs are executing and none of the workflow instructions have been processed. Controller simply stores the orders and wait until the configured start time is reached. Once the scheduled time arrives, the controller automatically begins processing the workflow and the order moves to the next state. Scheduled orders are commonly used for workflow that need to run at a specific date and time, such as nightly backups, etc. To view all scheduled orders, click Scheduled Counter. This opens the order overview. Now from here, change the filter to Next Day. In the search menu, search for Sample Order View, and there you go. You have a scheduled order which was initially in pending state. Now moving ahead, let's look at in progress order state. Once the scheduled start time is reached, the controller automatically begins processing the workflow. The order briefly enters in progress state. This state is usually visible only for a very short time before the order moves to the running state. The in progress state exists only for a very short time and may be difficult to observe when only a single order is running. To make this state easier to see, let's start multiple orders simultaneously. Navigate to the daily plan view, select the date for which order already exists. In the detailed panel, select multiple orders, click Let Run. This submits the selected orders for immediate execution. Now, navigate back to the dashboard. Notice that in progress counter has increased. An in-progress order indicates that controller has started processing the workflow. At this stage, controller reads the workflow definition and evaluates the workflow instruction to determine how execution should proceed. Although the workflow has started, no job is executing. Once the controller completes this preparation, the first job starts automatically and the order moves to the running state. Now let's look at the running order state. Once the controller has finished preparing the workflow, it starts executing the first job. At this point, the order moves from in progress to running state. Let's navigate to dashboard. Notice that the running counter has increased while in progress counter has decreased. Clicking the running counter, this opens the order overview displaying all currently running orders. Moving ahead, now let's look at the suspended order state. To demonstrate this state, we will suspend a running order. Navigate to the dashboard, click the running counter. This opens the orders overview displaying all currently running orders. Select any orders and click the three-dot action menu and choose Suspend. It offers several suspend options. For this demonstration, we'll use Suspend Wait for End Task. This option allows the currently executing workflow instructions such as running job to finish normally. Once the current instruction is completed, the order is placed in the suspended state. The suspended request is processed asynchronously by Jog Cockpit, the controller, and the agent. Immediately after clicking on Suspend Wait for End Task, the order remains in the running state while the current instruction complete. The current instruction finishes, the order automatically changes to the suspended state. Now, let's navigate back to the dashboard. Notice that suspended counter has increased. A suspended order pauses workflow execution. The workflow remains at its current execution position and no further jobs or workflow instructions are executed until the order is resumed. Suspending an order is useful when workflow execution needs to be paused temporarily. In addition to suspended wait for end task, dialog also provides other options like terminate task. This immediately terminates the currently running job before suspending the order. Then we have suspend reset. This suspends the order and resets the current workflow instruction so that it again when the order is resumed. Move back to dashboard view and click on suspended orders. Order overview opens. Click on all the suspended orders and after that click resume. By default, order resumes from its current workflow position. Alternatively, you can resume the order from an earlier or later job or workflow instruction at the same workflow level if required. Order variables can also be modified before resuming execution. Finally, click Submit. The order resumes from the selected position and continues executing the remaining workflow step. Now let's look at the waiting order state. Waiting order indicates that execution has been temporarily paused because the order is waiting for the required resource or event before it can continue. For example, an order may be waiting for a resource lock, a notice from another workflow, or a retry interval or a cycle interval, or an available agent process when the configured process limit has been reached. While the order is waiting, no jobs are executed. As soon as the required resource or event becomes available, the order automatically resumes execution from the point where it was paused. Waiting orders can also be suspended or cancelled if required. Clicking the waiting order counter opens the order overview where you can view all the orders that are currently in the waiting state. Now let's look at the blocked order state. Notice that the blocked counter is greater than 0. In this example, the assigned agent is currently not reachable. An order can also become blocked if assigned workflow is suspended. Unlike a waiting order, which is waiting for a workflow resource such as a resource lock or a notice board, a blocked order cannot start because an external prerequisite is unavailable. Once the required execution environment becomes available again, for example, when the agent reconnects or the workflow is resumed, the order automatically leaves the blocked state and execution begins. And here we comes to the end of this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.